rare, and then also a perfect to remove add. If that's possible, I imagine it would remove it, but they probably just will make that not work. So, and yeah, I think that kind of covers it pretty well. So I was a bit disappointed to hear this change because I quite, perfect transmute org an item and then essence to get your third affix, and then like you were kind of doing your extra kind of abyss or perfect essence to get you to that 4 or 5 property item. I'm curious to guys hear how you guys think about this. I think this change is missing the context of like the metacrafting runes taking over some of the what we're losing here. But I'm curious about your thoughts about that change, kind of in isolation, I guess.
That's definitely what I think it is, but it's also like it is possible they just wanted to nerf crafting and make some of the more guaranteed stuff harder. They've shown us a decent amount of the metacrafting runes with the teaser they did yesterday. Stuff like being able to get an additional suffix, prefix, like 5 different influenced or 6 different influenced specific ones. So it could be a combination of they want to dial back some of our guaranteed power / if it's too powerful with the new meta crafts, but it kind of depends what all they have on those runes.
I think yeah, there's probably a bit of that. It also seems like maybe it's about making that kind of 4th and 5th and 6th modifiers a bit less deterministic. Like not being quite as guaranteed as they are. So through those runes, like you can influence those final crafts. But maybe so what I was worried about here is that we were kind of losing the physical feeling of crafting something. Like we were losing out on some of the actual crafting process because I quite like the existing process. But it is possible that they needed to remove the ability to say like have 2 essence modifiers because it would have restricted the amount of crafting that you ever wanted to do. Like now there's maybe a bit more tail actual things to do with the crafting on an item that's got like 3 good properties to get the last 3. That gives you, I guess that opens up the floor for more crafting to be done with meta runes and all that stuff.
Yeah, it gives them more expansion they can do on it.
Yeah, so hopefully that's the case. Like this thing, even though in isolation, I look at it, I'm like, oh, I'm sad that they're doing that. But hopefully that's the case that, oh, well, it's actually making more crafting we can do. I am just a little bit worried about because what I really focus on with crafting is the entry and mid-level crafting. I want like more people to start crafting. I want more people to craft when they get to endgame and when they're halfway through endgame. Because I think that sort of crafting can be really, really fun. Crafting those items that are like 60 to 80% of the way there. And that's something that I've tried to push a lot and have been disappointed whenever they've made changes that seem counter that. Like the changes to Veiled Chaoses and stuff in the past in Path of Exile 1, I felt like we're removing some of that low-level kind of entry-level crafting that I thought was really fun. So it's hard to judge this without feeling how runes feel like this. Do they feel like something that people can do at entry-level to mid-level?
We're missing a lot of context. I think yesterday when we were talking, or not yet, it was yesterday when we were talking about this, prepping for this, I was thinking that there was going to be more metacrafts that would like substantiate it, but after the reveal, which they did later that night,
they revealed them all.
No, they didn't reveal them all. They revealed a lot of them though, and none of those were like prefix or suffix can't be changed. So I'm more. I think I'm more on
that too.
I'm more on the line that I'm thinking it might just be they wanted to nerf some of the crafting power, but like you still have more things you can do with them, but definitely a lot less of a straight line of what you're gonna do and how you're gonna add your mods.
It's I mean, to be fair, like they could probably afford to nerf the crafting power. We were literally just saying how the player power is outstripping like content difficulty to a pretty high margin most of the time here, and being able to get to like a 5 property item that's like 90% of the way there quite easily with crafting, even at like lower end budgets, is part of that, right? And I was thinking about in that conversation yesterday, I was like, I walked away from our preliminary discussion about crafting feeling a bit better about it because I actually sat down and evaluated what do I actually really want to see, and I was like thinking, okay, I want to be able to have like the 3rd and 4th modifiers, a 3 to 4 property item, even just a 3 property item where I know I can get 3 very good modifiers on an item pretty consistently with crafting at like entry level. I was like, that is kind of like my sweet spot. I would be happy with that. And it's currently past that. So this new system will mean that whatever, even if we just don't look at the runes and all the new stuff, like yeah, your perfect greater transmute augments and in essence get you to 3 properties quite well.
Yeah.
I'm very happy and sad at the same time about this. The sadness is most, well, I'll try to explain. So the happy part is like I think power had to come down, and the iterations on items needs to be high in PoE. I think so. Like the low mid tier, not so high, but end game, it needs to be high. There needs to be a lot of iteration and a lot of like moving through items. And that was kind of short circuited by you just spam this one thing and it kind of finishes like very quickly. And
That's a good point for like a few
you're at
levels.
the end.
Because like if you bring the entry point down a bit, so like whatever crafting can occur when you first kind of get to end game, that means you either have more like new items to upgrade through, like what you're talking about, but the other part of that is that same item upgrading as you progress. I do quite like when an item has a story that plays out over the course of like a period of time, where it's like I get this item to like the 3 property mark, and that means there's a bit of headroom for it to advance. Like later on I get an item that lets me put an abyss modifier, now it's a good 4 property item. Later on then I get, I don't know, maybe one of the new runes, and now it becomes kind of like a good 5 property item with something that's more unique for my build. And then like, oh yeah, then the next layer is like 6th property or corruption or some, or like, you know, upgrading it to a new item maybe with an extra socket, especially this league.
I think one of the most important things with crafting in PoE is that there needs to be projects. I think that's one of the for if you play endgame, if you play past like the point of just, you know, winning one time, it's like projects is like is key. That you have something that's always moving forward. And I really like that about like what I'm seeing as well. Like what they're adding is like they're adding the 6th, the 7th, the 8th kind of thing on top, but it's super volatile. It gets harder and harder and harder for each step to hit perfect. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
And then it's like you decide when you settle. And settling, I think, is really important. And like, yeah. I think the most important thing with crafting for entry is that you get the things you need. Right? I need to fix my resist, I need to get enough damage, enough defense, and then we start moving past that point. Yeah. But the thing I'm sad about with the change here is actually I quite enjoyed the process of the crafting we just had, because the clicking and the iteration was actually bearable. And I think in PoE 1, crafting very quickly becomes unbearable. However much fun the thought of it is, the actual journey through it, and the alterate, put in, out, recombinate, metacraft to the you know, guy and the like the beasts, and it's just like it's so cumbersome. This is actually where when you showed me your bench, Siggy, I was I just thought, oh my god, give me that as like a medium for all this iterating.
The meme I've seen going around is they're doing a lot just to make sure that they don't have a crafting bench. And that got us talking yesterday about, like, when we were prepping, why, like, what is a crafting bench? What things can it be? And, like, why avoid it or why have it? I know what they're really trying to avoid, because I've explicitly had this discussion with some of them, is the long list of modifiers that you can do, and especially when they only exist in the bench. And like, I agree, I think the long list of modifiers is pretty lame. It is more interesting to have items, but it is also like cumbersome. It's more difficult to kind of understand all of the options available to you. And I had seen how Craft of Exile presents this, and I got to making my own crafting simulator. I just happened to wrap it in a game that I've been making. But my suggestion of what a bench could be, I've been kicking around for a while, is this a way of explaining and engaging with all of these different disparate things that Path of Exile gives you access to. So I think a crafting bench could show you, based on the item's current state, what is available to you at each step. Let me
graphic.
put the video on the thing.
Yeah,
grab
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, here we go.
The thing.
All right. This is a game what I made. And I have been building in it a crafting system. Obviously, it's something pretty basic at this point, but I've been building in it a crafting system that does this by showing you, by not having the crafts on the bench. The bench is just a communication tool to explain to you what you have access to at each point. So you can go ahead and play the video whenever you want. But the idea is that you pop an item in there, and then it looks at the item's current state, and it says, okay, in this state, you can do this. So, like, you've got a white item. It's like, oh, I've got an item that is effectively like transmute, augment, and exalt and regal all in one. You can add an extra affix to this item. Here's the affixes you can add. So you click like the exalt, and then it shows you the list of affixes that you can get, and you see your odds and all that. And then you can hit the slam button. You slam the exalt in there. And then, okay, cool. And it's like, okay, now you could chaos that, or you could exalt that, or you could change that. And obviously, if you have metacrafting things, it could highlight what metacrafting things are available and what targets them. Where this side really comes together, so like you click chaos, which is like single targeted affix reroll. It shows you the affixes that could reroll. You can select it, and then like reroll that specific affix, and it shows you the possible outcomes for each affix that you reroll as well. And then like, okay, and then once you get to the point where you've done that, like you've got as many affixes as you can add to the item, it communicates to you, oh, you can't exalt this item anymore because it's full now. It's like, oh, you can then vial it, and it shows the outcome. And having like a log of what happened to the item too, oh my god, I would love that in PoE 2. Every time I craft something in PoE 2, I never know what actually happened on the item. It's like I have to pin open the two different things and play like compare on the two items, because it's like the two item labels are like, what actually happened? Did anything happen? Half the time you use a vial, nothing actually happens. I hate that. I removed that feature in my game, by the way. But that's what I want out of a crafting bench. Now, I say that, but you could make an argument that it's a good thing to not necessarily know all of your options and all of the possible outcomes.
I'm definitely a big appreciator of it not being telling you exactly what's going to happen, and you having to like dig in and learn the system.
So I'm curious, like, how about that, but it doesn't show you what affixes you can roll, or it doesn't show you the chances of rolling them, just what affixes are available. Maybe it just shows you, oh, like, okay, if you use this essence, it highlights the mods that could change, that sort of thing, which they've started doing a bit of.
Yeah, I think they already that is like currently functional in the game, right? They at least did it for all the Omen stuff, I believe. Like it'll highlight orange what things will change when you do the lowest level modifier, because it wasn't clear. Like people were like, well, this is a high amount of life, why is that the lowest level mod? But it's because it's like this inbuilt like thing that's not told unless you go and look it up in PUDB or whatever.
I think so like you've got all these crafting items spread across all these stash tabs, and just being able to drop an item in there and it just show you that, like, hey, it just kind of brings to the fore, like it populates with your current options for the item. That just seems like a really like fun way to learn the system. Maybe it removes some physicality from these items. I mean, you can do stuff to improve that. You like have the item come out and slam into the item, like I was doing with my animations there. But like it's like you put a white item in there and it shows you, okay, transmute. It shows you like an essence or whatever, and it shows you this other item. And then as you progress, it kind of like populates new things. All of a sudden, boom, this meta crafting option appears. This abyss thing appears.
I feel like this. Oh, you go to NieNie.
So if you think about like the strongbox, would the strongbox be better if you had to go to your inventory and do it the old way, or do we like the new strongbox thing, like the new strongbox interface?
Yeah.
I think it's
except when I misclick and don't click
like,
it.
Is there anything where you're like, this is taking away from PoE in your like world? When you look at the strongbox implementation,
the strongbox is just just saving you open your inventory essentially and click.
Actually, it's doing two things. It's not just doing that. It's also telling you what you can do.
Yeah.
You know already as a player, but a new player might not know.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they've had the issue that a new player would never think that you could use a crafting item on some
Yes.
physical thing in the world, right? Like that you could drop it on a box is super like
Yeah.
whoa. I
Like, how far can
definitely
I
have
take
seen
it?
that
Oh,
through
can
the
I just click
years.
again? Click
Players
again?
been like,
And it's like,
I didn't know you could craft the boxes.
there's an Exalt Orb. Should I put?
How am I supposed to
I'm
know
clicking
that?
it. How many times can I do it? Now, here's the thing about the bench. It might actually, it would not actually even need to explicitly tell you any of the modifiers. It just needs to be an interface
No,
that
that's like an extra
shows
layer. Yeah, that I
that
think
this is
you could cut it
applicable.
a few points. You could cut it not showing any of the potential outcomes. You could cut it showing the potential outcomes, but not the odds, or you could cut it showing the odds, like going the full way, the full Craft of Exile experience. But like I suspect Path of Exile 2 would like not show you the possible modifiers, but just show you a PoE 2 well-fitting version of that would just surface the possible things you can use and what they would affect on the item, just because I think that's necessary.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
mean,
it's a
But
bit
the
too
thing is,
ambiguous.
if you look at like a crafting bench, right? If it's your crafting bench in your hideout, you could lay out your stash around it, right? Like that's what you would do. You could immerse yourself in that train of thought, and then
That's
now
an
you
interesting
have
idea.
you have your omens and you have your, and it's
Hmm.
all laid out and ready for you to craft.
Let you move them around yourself and place them yourself, and it like highlights them or doesn't highlight them depending. I like this idea of like your own customizable bench. Interesting.
It's more like it's the idea that why it's like you're not an idiot all the time. Like it's like you've stashed all your good things away, like in 17 different boxes, and you have to go over to the bench every time you have to craft. It's stupid. You could just have a bench area.
I mean that
facilitates
crafting
the crafting, so it kind of
I mean, there's an
reduces the
item slot
process.
on the currency menu, right? Usually, at least. It's there in PoE1. Is it there in PoE2? Anyway, I think it is. There's an item slot right there that's meant to be like a crafting bench. Why not just like have that highlight currency that currently applies to the item when there's an item in there? I think that would be the like most one-to-one current game implementation of it. If there's an item in there, it grays out items that can't be used right now. That would be like the tiniest step without any of the other fluff. How would you feel about that, Lance?
I feel like, well, what NieNie's saying is like if you click this quote unquote bench and it just pulls all the possibilities into that interface, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but you could decide which ones you want to see. Like it's just so that not everything has to be. So here's the thing. The previous crafting that we have right now, I like it because the iteration on it is fairly straightforward. It's like you're doing simple things. Like in the beginning, it really is just you just perfect trans or whatever transmute until you hit the thing you do. Then it's just like one essence. Another thing, maybe you need to do one trip down in the deep, and then it's like ding 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 ding. It's fairly simple. It's fairly straightforward. But I think coming in now with all the stuff that's gonna happen, with how you can't get all the way, there's gonna be so much more iterating. And if I just think back to PoE 1 and how much it just becomes this like very, very, very long journey of clicking things. If I could just have that be a more pleasant experience, i.e. through a bench and some interface that's meant to facilitate the crafting, I would enjoy that so much more. Because that's the thing I feel like I'm losing with going to this more like we need more iteration also means more clicking, more of all that. And I just want the journey to be fun.
And I'm guessing neither of you are like a big fan of the PoE1 style crafting bench that's adding mods, right?
Oh, I like the PoE1 bench fine.
I'm whatever on the bench.
Do you feel like Runes takes that like adequately, or what's the like comparison there for you?
I think Runes are doing a very similar thing of just giving you some guaranteed modifier that you can swap in and out. What it doesn't have that the bench currently, the more important thing for crafting in PoE1 is the meta crafting, which depends what kind of mods, what kind of control, what kind of variants that can make and how you craft your item. That might be its own thing for sure. Sorry, I bonked my mic. But I was gonna say for the UI interface thing, like I like the thought of being like, okay, whenever I want to do a craft, all my supplies are right here. But the thing is, there's so many things that I think you would just end up with a UI overload where it's kind of like a lot of it's 95 of these percent of this stuff you could use, but really for the craft you're doing, you only need 5% of. Like when I'm going to craft an item, I say this is the resources, and I get out these specific resources. But it's like if I had this, like I'm having trouble visualizing it not being overloaded.
Think of the strongbox.
Well, the strongbox has a very limited amount of things that can happen to it, but
yeah,
other things have way more things.
Every step for an item has a similar thing. Yeah, I know some certain things like you could do, but like if the item is white, you can literally just do a couple things, right? There's not much you can actually do once you first pull it, so it doesn't need to reveal every option.
Like if you have a white item, you have 20 essences that'll pop up. You have alchemy, you have transmute, greater transmute, perfect transmute. You have the omens.
You can just say, hey, I don't want to look at those or look at those. Just like store them away. It's like just make it good. So here, PoE's crafting bench. I actually, thinking back on it, I kind of hate it because like you would like think about like whenever you need to do like jewel or chroming thing, and you have to like find the right spot and back and forth and click, and this whole like, and then it's like, and then it's scoured, and you have to like scroll down to the scour, move the thing with the scour, and then up back again, and this whole like, oh my god,
yeah.
It drives me crazy. Sure. It's just bad. It's just not well designed.
I think the thing you're wanting though would have a similar level of you have to keep changing things based on the craft you're doing regardless. Like this, because there's just so many things that you'll have to keep changing setting wise on it. That will be equivalent to like searching around your stash to get the specific resources.
I mean, if you make it, if you put no thought into it, sure. It's like I don't know. That just sounds like someone who didn't want to design it, who just threw everything in there.
Yeah, ideally you only see the things that are available to you, and it does it automatically. That would be my dream crafting bench.
The things that are going to be available to you are a ton of things.
Here's the thing, Lance. If they added, okay, so here's the thing: you could do it the old school way, but they could have something like this in game. Would you mind?
What do you mean the old school way?
You could just do it the way it's done right now. What does it actually? What bad does it do for you that something like this could be available, even if it's not your preferred way of looking at it?
I don't think it makes sense. Like in terms of like, I don't think you guys are considering how many things could apply to an item at every step of the craft. I think it's, and you're talking about like this personal thing where you'd have to customize it each item you're putting in there. Like there's so many variables of how many, like you could say as the designer, they're going to forcibly give you these options, but as the person crafting, you might say, I want this other option. Like this, I don't know. I think it's,
well, that's why I think it's a good idea, because it does like, it helps you understand, like sort through all of those many different options.
If you can essence it, all it needs to show you is one essence. It needs to show you that this can be essenced. It doesn't need to show you every single one of them. Like you
click it and then you click the essence you want.
Yes.
That's probably, I was just literally thinking about, how will I implement this if I, let's say, add essences. I would have it that it highlights that this item can be essenced. You select, and then you select the essence that you want, and then you go craft.
So what's the difference between you just clicking your essence tab?
It's showing you what's available to you at the time, all in one place, without you having to like click over to your essence tab and find the essence.
What happens when you pick up an essence off the ground? Your first time you run into an essence.
Yeah. Obviously, like if you're just using it in a zone, you're not going to have a crafting bench. This is a crafting bench you go to when you, like, I guess you could make it a menu.
This just seems like a lot of extra steps to like.
The point is, it would be less steps, right?
No, it's like I can just go, simply sit, and boop, 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 boop. And no need needs to like drag it out, drag it in, drag it out, drag my item around into this tab, everything into my inventory. Right click, omen, back forth.
I'll make it and show you, Lance.
Okay,
I'll make it and then let you play with it. And then you'll understand. I'll show you. I'll show the lot of you. I'm gonna make it.
Anyways, having all these extra
Anyway.
steps is what I'm not looking forward to. But
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
think
forward
there's,
to
like,
there
big
being a
quality of
longer
life there.
journey, but I liked having fewer steps before. So if I could ever bridge these two things where the extra steps don't feel so painful, then that's my ideal game.
Yeah. I hope you play my game then, Noogie, and like it. The next crafting thing, we should probably move along, is they removed the recombinator. We almost forgot to mention it because I feel like I forget about the recombinator even existing, personally. I know it plays a huge role in some crafting,
It's
but
very strong, and yeah, it's gone.
yeah, it is. It's very strong, and it's a thing that's gone, but at the same time, I don't feel like I'm going to miss it at all. I kind of was always a bit that it existed. I don't know. Maybe you guys feel completely different about that. I don't know. I don't know why exactly. I haven't really thought about it too much. I just tried to just mentally disengage from the recombinator. It was in the too hard basket for me.
It just kind of hurts like quite a few crafting methods. Essentially, it hurts your ability to clean bases. It hurts your ability to target certain mods together, type of thing.
Hmm.
I think it's mostly just ultimately just a crafting power nerf taking it out.
Sure. Did they say that they're doing anything with the expedition
They're
people that
gone.
you trade to?
They
just
died
gone,
or
right?
something. I don't know. They said
They're
they're
gone.
yeah.
They're
All
all
the
in the
vendors
town
are
being
gone.
depressed now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all in their ruined town being depressed. Like, obviously that was like garbage in its state that it was. I was kind of hoping they would do a little bit more with that, but I don't know. I miss rod crafting. That was actually good. It was perfect kind of like entry mid-level, get an item part of the way craft. But it certainly is the sort of stuff that could be emulated in the actual game's crafting systems rather than being relegated to just being like ROG, for example. Yeah, I don't really know what to make of or say about the recombinator change because I chose to not engage with it that much.
I mean,
I think that's just because it wasn't fun
it
despite being
wasn't
powerful.
particularly like an interesting thing. You
Yeah.
basically said, I need this affix from this item isolated, or I need to try to move it to this base or whatever. I think it's most I feel like it's just they trying to just dial back some of the like maybe it was too powerful or something. They didn't want it in the game the way it was.
Yeah. They probably could have gone through more iterations to arrive at a good recombinator, but for whatever reason, it's a shame I forgot to ask about this in the Q&A, but for whatever reason, they determined that it wasn't worth trying to do that. And I guess some of what the recombinator did could be done through runes. Like, they are doing a little bit of some of the similar ideas, like the ability to like take an affix off one item and put it on another can be done through runes. Like, they're doing that with uniques. So that sort of stuff could be done with rares and things too, if they were careful about it in some fashion, maybe. I don't know. I guess it doesn't seem like there's too much more to say about that one. But the new stuff we're getting, 17 new metacrafting runes. They revealed some or a good chunk of those, apparently. I haven't browsed through those ones yet. What was your take on what sort of stuff did they reveal, Lance? How does it look?
They revealed basically runes that essentially add like influence mods, which depending
Cool.
what mods are in the pool, that could be kind of some build enabling stuff in there, which is interesting. They revealed +1 suffix as a rune, which is very powerful. I assume it means there's +1 prefix as well, which is kind of crazy when you consider like weapons, for example.
Oh, that's crazy.
But the thing is, when you add an extra affix like that, your crafting cost goes way up. So it's probably going to be a lot of like some pretty high end, like you're giga invested with omens and stuff to try to protect your item. I think it opens some interesting possibilities for endgame crafts for sure.
All right, cool. I'm excited about like this kind of discovery process of some of these influence crafting. I'm definitely like a little bit nervous that it makes like a ton more things that you have to go to Craft of Exile to even begin to understand what is possible to you. Like, it's definitely adding to that pile of stuff that where we're like considering all of the options of what's available to you to make an item means that coming up with your recipe of what you want to craft and how you want to craft it, it becomes more and more difficult. But I wonder if there's a point where they keep doing that, where all of a sudden it gets to, like, I feel like with this expansion as a whole, where I start saying, you know what, I don't have to come up with the perfect crafting recipe. I can kind of just go for any one of a number of different angles. There's so many options, and I'll probably will arrive at a pretty good item. Maybe there's a point that that's what ends up happening, and maybe that's fun. But I feel like this expansion and the way they're approaching crafting could solve the internet problem of when the internet came along. We got so many guides for games that the mystery of games started to, fade away, and we lost something there. Which I say this as someone who makes guides. I love guides. They help people discover the depth of games and the joy of them. But at the same time, something is lost there, where you lose some of that kind of like mystery and exploration. So maybe if they just had so much stuff, people can make guides all day long, but there'll be so many guides that you can find a guide to whatever specific thing you want to do, but ultimately trying to learn everything just becomes a non-starter. So you start to arrive at a situation where the game is mysterious again. I feel like PB2 is getting there.
I feel like for the make the game
that is-
mysterious again, I'm really hoping for like for example, they have this new influence mods, and they showed us just like a couple of like the possibilities. I'm really hoping they succeed at it not being data mineable in terms of like, I put this thing that says I'm going to give you berserking mods on a helmet. That was like one of them, and I was like, well, what could that be? Maybe it's like attack related stuff, but I don't really know what's in that pool. I'm hoping it's not data mineable, so it's like we actually have some people like first time putting it in and just throwing some chaos orbs and see what pops up.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like, kind of not necessarily even needing to hide the data just because there's so much of it. It's like the barrage of information, so it becomes too much it becomes unsolvable just because there's too much to get there.
Crazy,
which
man.
I think could be a really good thing.
Now imagine this. Imagine you can take 2 different types of crafted mods from 2 different runes and put them on the same item, and it generates a new,
like a fusion, like
together in some
Yu-Gi-Oh.
way.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. I might actually be back.
Is it working?
I'm
Are we
back
getting
again.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, much better.
Don't shuffle everything.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with my internet.
You're back in there.
Ah.
So on the crafting front,
say, Siggy, the thing
Go
you
ahead.
just mentioned, like them just cluttering more things for the purpose of it being discoverable, and there being like just too much stuff that you can. What was the way how you said it? That perspective is so
it becomes
refreshing.
unsolvable.
Yeah. Oh my god. I was like, oh, I like this.
Well, we have this
thinking
feeling
like
like we
300
need to
runes
understand everything.
it seems stupid, but like it's actually is it smart? Are they actually are they that clever?
Yeah, it does seem dumb to add so many runes, because like, how are we supposed to understand all this? But what if that's the point? But it's like unwieldy. It's like unwieldy and overwhelming. But like, what if that's the point?
That's
as long
a
as
good
you
thing
present that in
sometimes.
piecemeal ways, or in a way that feels good to discover, like it is a thing that can become a problem if it's presented in like a giant list of crafts. That's why I think the crafting bench is not a good idea. If the crafting bench list gets longer and longer and longer, then that maybe is a bit of a problem. But I think if it's presented to players in the right way, where they are just kind of exploring things, and part of the moving leagues into their kind of like things the way they are on the atlas, I think is part of that, because you go over to the breach area and you discover the tree and you start crafting just jewelry. It's just a small slice of this whole system. And then you start crafting just specific types of jewelry, and that's only surfacing a small part of the crafting system to you. But then when you start doing a second one, you find something new, and then that plugs back into what you were doing before. It's like, oh, these minion rings I've been crafting can interact with this mechanic.
I think
if there's less stuff, you'll be inclined to say, okay, I need to learn all the options. But if there's just so much stuff, that's not even possible. You're forced to explore. I don't know. That sounds exciting to me. Maybe some people sounds like a nightmare.
I think it's a beautiful thing when they have very specific stuff that's just to this piece of content, and when it's just the thing in your current view,
Yeah.
it's consumable and you can appreciate it. And you were talking about the 500 runes discovering, but it's like every time you interact with the mechanic, you're chiseling away and it says, hey, there's a couple combinations here. And you're like, that's one I haven't seen before. And it's not just all at once, not all shoved in your face. It's consumable, it's appreciable. So I think it works in that way. I'm really hoping it's not data mineable. I'm hoping there'll be moments where I'm like, I'm opening it and this is something I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Nice. They're adding resistance swapping. One of my favorites. Resistance swapping is just like such a nice like quality of life thing because it let you keep an item. And
It's so needed for PoE too.
Yeah, especially with the way that you can't essence so much anymore, because that was kind of how you solved it. I think is that you had good options to just essence a couple times and you could create like the good resist.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
that's the way you were solving. The way I was solving it was switching 3 more gear pieces every upgrade.
Well, that's the problem, and that's the problem, right? Like that's the problem that resistance swapping solves is that it's hard to be excited for a cool item drop or a cool item craft when you have to. Oh, I gotta find replacements for these.
I could put this on, but I'm gonna start chain dying to cold damage.
Yeah, and it's not gonna be exciting because like you're not really getting new items, you're just getting slight variations of the items you already have, most likely. And you're just like, oh, I need to get the exact same item, but with cold res instead of lightning res.
Yep.
So resistance swapping lets you keep that, lets you keep your progression going, and lets you be excited about new items that you can change. Yeah, huge fan of resistance swapping coming back. I'm glad, and a little surprised. I might not have. To me, it seems like one of those like power features, one of those quality of life features that they might not have put in PoE 2. And in the past, I might have been like, they would never do that. That's certainly not coming to PoE 2, I might have thought, but there you go. That's good. Excellent. Yeah, we talked about the breeze tree giving highly specialized crafting for jewelry. You can craft caster and summoner jewelry specifically, or just targeted normal jewelry. Like, I think it's easy to think of it as like, oh, it's just for crafting caster or summoner stuff, but there's specific mod pools that you can only be gotten through those for jewelry. I love the idea of like super niche things because it gives someone a job in the PoE economy. And I love that.
There's a purpose for everyone.
People feel excited about being the guy for something, Yeah, there's a job for everyone. It's like, I'm the guy making this specific type of minion amulet or whatever.
I like that
you'll be able to...
There's
Go ahead.
like a really large amount of like specialization in it compared to the tree we have in
way more.
PoE 1, where it's pretty broad. It's nowhere near as like targeted. This is the type of thing I am exactly going for. Sorry, I was just saying I like the trees.
It's a
very
I like a banger.
I'm
very excited. I think it's a good example of that one league kind of just surfacing a small part of the crafting system, but also being very deep and niche and satisfying in its own right. And I hope it feels good. But yeah, it looks like there's a lot more nodes there, so a lot of really granular control over the crafting. I wonder how powerful it's going to end up being. It seems like it would be powerful, given the amount of like blocking and stuff there is. You can block specific bases or enable specific bases or mods or etc. There's so many crafting stuff they added. They added jewel essences, the ability to guarantee certain mods on jewels. I guess with everybody having 5 new jewel slots thanks to voices, maybe not 5.
There's no way that like JSON file is correct. There's no way it's a 5 passive voices. I refuse to believe. 4 is already insane. There's no way they're just like 5 jewel sockets, 1 jewel to rule them all.
It's probably like a corruption-esque thing where you can get a overcapped version of it or something like that. Like that's the way I would do it, right? Like say 4 passive voices, which are going to be worth, I don't know, mirrors, and then you have to gamble it to maybe get a 5 socket one. Like that's hell yeah, that's how I'd do it.
Could they have data mineable stuff in the game that doesn't actually exist in the game? Like could it just
true. They can just have like files that they tested but then don't commit to live, but it's just in the back end.
They should do more of that though.
There's more smoke and mirrors.
Because then people, it's like you can just keep people guessing. It's like, is it there? Is it? I don't know.
It's a little risky because it's a bit like announcing a change before you've committed to it. In a sense, like technically it's not legit information; it's data mined. It shouldn't be taken as gospel, but people will. Like as far as anyone's concerned, there's 5
Well,
passive
as long
voices.
as long as it's verifiable after the fact, right? It's like the reason why people take the data mine seriously is because it's true, like almost all of the time. If you can't trust it, then
yes, I guess they can make it less and less trustworthy over time by putting more random stuff in there.
I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe not.
Yes. Like so voices. I wonder how like affordable the 2-socket voices is going to be, because
it's going to be expensive.
So unlike Path of Exile 1 voices, if you haven't seen it, it's a jewel that you socket into your skill tree. And in Path of Exile 1, you have to spend extra passives to get extra jewel sockets, and the quality of the jewel is based on how many passives you have to spend. So it always costs you something though. In this case though, you just put in a jewel socket and it turns 1 socket into 2 sockets, and there's no extra cost there. So it seems like a jewel that 100% of everybody is going to want to at least get a cheap one, right?
The demand is every player in the game, and I'm calling not only is like obviously the rare variation rare to get when you drop a voices. I think the baseline just getting the 2 passive one or the 2 jewel one, I think that's going to be a baseline rare drop. So it's going to be rare onto rare.
Yeah, so what do you reckon? So like
percent wise of killing?
Yeah,
I think it's going to be lower than a 1 in 10 drop rate, just for the chance of the voices.
10%
voices to drop.
Okay.
Yeah. Not like a 1 in 50, not like baseline the 1 in 50. I'm thinking baseline 1 in 10, which is that's still pretty rare. I think that's enough where if they make it a pretty fraction on top of that.
But that means that on trade you can if you play, like if you actually play and it's 10%, you'll get one.
Yeah, if you're like chain,
that would be like
it's a very achievable goal for like every player who actually plays through the end game.
That would be like a dedicated farmer getting like one of those an hour or something. That would be that would definitely put it in the valuable tier. Like that would be worth divs, you know. That wouldn't be worth.
I think its demand is just going to be insane, because I just don't see a world where you ever don't use it, because it's
yeah to an extent. Like players only need one and they can share it between their characters, so that's like one of those items that's pretty transferable. But still, that's still about as high demand as you get in Path of Exile. Every single player wants at least one.
Every single player in the game.
Yep, that's a good one. Interesting, but I mean they've made a conscious choice there. It's not like they weren't aware that would be the case. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that one's worth. I want more. I always find myself wanting more jewel sockets though, because like you can do interesting things with jewels, and there is very few of them. So yeah, I'm in favor of it just for that alone. Okay. Next topic on our list was endgame. We have talked a lot about endgame kind of already, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We haven't talked about the 100%able Atlas tree. How do you guys feel about the core Atlas tree that you can fully complete? Though it does have the context that's important to remember, that there are passives that you can select their modal. You can swap between different versions of them, and you can change those instantly when you want. And then that's for stuff that you, this is a very important distinction that Jonathan was talking about. Like the stuff that goes on the main tree is the stuff that you can't predict very easily coming up in a map. So you can't see, oh, this map is happening, so I need to respec my tree, because that is a pain in the ass, right? Like it's bad gameplay to have to change your tree because every time you see a new map coming. For that stuff, they moved it to the masters. Like that stuff is supposed to be in the masters. The stuff you can instantly hot swap very easily is the stuff that you can see coming. There's delineation between like stuff like just enhances your maps in general, or it's random stuff that you can't predict, versus the stuff you know is coming, so you can do your little tree, your master tree swaps quickly. Brilliant.
That is brilliant.
Hope that plays out really nicely. But how do you guys feel about that, like that 100% completable tree with that full context of like the picture of what they've made there? Because I think people are kind of missing the context of that when discussing this a lot.
I love it. Straight up.
You like the full completable tree, or the swapping, or all of it?
Yes, just like the everything.
Yes.
Everything around this. Everything around the Atlas. Yes. The one thing I always wanted in PoE 1 was just it to be more easily like modifiable and malleable, unless like I have to sit there and because the way I play the game, so I play a lot of SSF, and sometimes you have like, okay, I need to farm that thing. I set up my tree, and then you find it within the first 3 maps. And you're like, I did all this work. I have to redo this, respec all of this to start the next thing because I hadn't even farmed out the unmaking orbs or like gold or whatever to like do the respec, and I'm like just stuck here with this. Oh my god! Or if you're like, I just want to like do this, do that, do this. I was like, oh, I'm bored of this. I wanted to try that. Like sometimes you just want to try a bunch of different things, and it's like it's such a hard commit because it's like to really try it, you have to go all the way for it to really feel it or for it to be impactful enough. And I'm so happy that I can just click the what's it called, like the masteries now,
Mm.
and there's not this like full committal every time. It's to me that's just heaven.
So a bit more context and details. I believe all of the respecing is free. Certainly the masters are, but I think all of it is. You don't need to respec the core tree. Any of the decision-based stuff can be changed freely. The ones that you don't fully complete, I believe, are the league mechanic mini trees.
I think they
Those are
said in
not
the
full
interview those
completion
are
still.
fully completable. The DM
Those
guys
are fully completable?
they asked that question.
All right, either they changed that or I missed that detail. That's awesome. Okay, so those are fully completable then. So it's all the core street. So it is just the masters that you're not like choosing every node of, because those are things that you want to, you want this or that, you know, like the trade-off based things. Anything that's trade-off based has been moved to that stuff you can swap around easily.
I'm definitely on the much more skeptical side. I'm like, I'm open. I'm excited to try it, but I am like, this feels like we're losing our ability to have some identity in what we're doing. Because at the end of the day, every tree is going to be the same minus like a couple of flip nodes. So
yeah,
I'm skeptical. Overall, maybe I'll play and I'll just be like, you know what? I don't, maybe I was wrong for thinking I was attached to this tree. But for me, I'm definitely not as like overwhelming. I know this is going to be good. I'm doubtful, but we're 2 weeks from now, we're gonna have this podcast and you guys can ask me again about after I've actually tried it. But I do not have full confidence in it. I'm going in skeptical. I want to try it, keep my mind open, see if I actually like just the way it is. But it's hard for me. I like to cling to these parts of PoE where you have this ability, this control of this specific identity of where you're doing this thing, you're making these decisions, you know?
I think you still have that with tablets and with routing and with all the choices you're giving on, like, you know, whenever the ritual splits in two, it's a choice. Now you have to layer it with the right amount of like the right tablets, and you have to layer it with the right master, and you have to layer it with the right atlas.
Well, the atlas is the same apart from, I guess, some of the modal choices. But
I
guess it depends on how many of those modal choices there are and how impactful they are.
We don't know. I hope they're impactful. I hope that the atlas tree does have some impact, but it's like that it's easily adjustable.
Yeah, I am more on the side of Lance for this one as well. Like I think like it's a very clever thing, this having the clear delineations between content that you expect is coming and then understanding that that's the sort of stuff players are going to want to respect, so making that really comfortable to do. I love that. But I am very nervous that like I don't want a game that plays itself. I kind of somewhat trust GGG to not do that because they don't really want to do that. They don't really want to make an action RPG that plays itself. So hopefully there is enough decision making on this tree that it doesn't feel like everyone's just using the same tree and the same nodes.
But that's what I felt like PoE 1 is right now. Like the Atlas in PoE 1, I feel like it's like whatever thing you're enhancing. So the only difference is like, do I enhance these two or these three? But the way you enhance the different things are more or less always the same. And it's like, do I want Altar or do I want Maven? And like, how do I get as much effect? Like, how do I get the little hat on every tree?
The hat on every tree hat. The hat of effect.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, ultimately the most important thing is going to be like how fun it makes the content and how quickly it makes that content fun as well. And part of what I think is really clever about this new endgame design is that at the start you go into the fortress and your content is juiced because it's pre-juiced, right? It's like handcrafted juicing that your content has interesting stuff in it right from the outset. And as that starts to fade away, you have a good chunk of your tree that's hopefully making everything really exciting again. So it seems like we might have juice from day one, and it only kind of gets better from there. And hopefully that's the end result. Even if we end up with trees that are kind of all the same and we're not really like making much decisions, maybe it's a better end game for it. We'll see.
We're making so many decisions. The tablets, the modifiers. Do you do those two, those three?
We're already making
Which
those decisions, though.
biome? You make decisions all the time. There's so many decisions all the time.
They did change the way the like tablets work a little bit. If you guys didn't catch that little detail, is that how do I even explain it properly?
It controls the mechanics that spawn, basically.
Yeah, you are blocking stuff by if you use 3 breach tablets, you get either a 3 times size breach or 3 breaches. It depends on the mechanic. And it blocks other things. So each tablet you don't put in is a slot that can be a random thing. So you can do 3 breaches, you can do 2 breaches and a delirium, you can do 3 deliriums, you can focus. So like this sounds like a pretty good layer of extra control over this. Or, you know, you can do like 2 specific ones and then a generic one, which I guess would leave a slot open. I assume there's still like a generic kind of tablet.
Yeah, like an
Maybe
irradiated
like or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a new thing. And it was easy to miss detail that is going to be a pretty impactful one. A much stronger control over what content you're actually playing. And it acts as the blocking nodes from the PoE1 Atlas tree. Somewhat.
Those are some classy
You
nodes.
automatically block all the stuff you don't want. Yeah. It's good. All right. Anything else on the end game that you guys can think of you want to talk about? So much stuff to talk about probably in 2 weeks when we've played it all.
Yeah.
Some of it, maybe not even all of it, probably.
I feel like that's like honestly the end game is so hard to like talk about because it's like we have to play it. It's just like how does it actually feel? I don't know.
GG posted something. What kind of something? The sort of something we'd want to look at here. Let's have a look. User experience improvements in Return of the Ancients. Oh, quality of life, mate.
God, they're hitting us with another one.
Yeah. Let me get. I'll put the link in the chat.
Quality of life.
Yeah, let me put it. I'll put it in the Canva, and we can all watch it together then. How do I do that? Where are you, Canva? One of these bloody tabs. I've got so many. That's just a link. Oh, Lance is on it? Oh, no, he's on it. Good job.
Got it. I'll play it with sound. Just for.
Great.
Do you want me to just play with sound?
Yeah, play with sound.
Yeah, just give me a countdown.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just give me a countdown.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can.
Give me a 3, 2, 1, go.
So hard. Yeah, I'm just trying to make it interactable.
Give me a 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it interactable. Oh, there we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
On Path of Exile 2. We've added a ton of new quality of life features in Return of the Ancients. Here's a couple you'll find useful in the endgame. The Atlas now has a search box that updates live as you type. If you have a specific map you'd like to run, just key in the name of it and you'll be able to locate it instantly. Hitting enter will move you from map to map, allowing you to easily move between them.
Oh, mate.
This works on more than just map names. You can find biomes, powerful bosses, or even specific mods. Really anything about a map you can think of.
Wait.
And this can come in handy if you get specific tablets that you want to use with specific
That's kind of cool.
So for example, if you get a tablet that adds extra essence encounters, you might want to run it with a map that boosts essences. By typing essence in the search box, you can find maps that will affect them, like this map, which causes essence packs to have 2 rares in them. Now that we have trade market search built into the game client, we've also added the ability to price check items you find more easily. Shift-Alt clicking an item will now instantly search for it on the trade market, showing you the current prices.
Shift-Alt click.
For rare items, it's handy to exclude some mods, So we've added the ability to enable and disable each modifier individually, letting you see exactly how each one affects the item's price.
Automatic ranges.
And that's
I
not
did
all.
that. That's
The
good.
Fragment Stash tab is
Necessary.
finally coming to Path of Exile 2, and with it comes some serious tabception. This tab is a dedicated storage for various boss fragments. There's also a tab for all your precursor tablets, with each tablet type receiving 6 tabs of storage. Finally, there's storage for your Jinn
Tablet type.
barriers and inscribed ultimatums, both of which also get 6 tabs each. Speaking of changes to stash tabs, with the Runes of Aldo League, there's a ton
Fine,
more
I've done
runes
mine.
that have been added to the game. In order to fit them, we've modified the Socketables stash tab. There are now 5 substashes for runes, Kalguran runes, soul cores, idols, and ancient
All those runes. Oh,
Jesus.
giving you much more space for all those runes. All these features
Great.
and much more are available in Return of the Ancients launching May 29th.
Huzzah!
Thanks for watching,
Good stuff.
and see you at launch.
I think we knew about all those, but seeing them and how they. All right, where are we at?
The Atlas search bar is going to be
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah, that actually means I am actually going to look for like where I might want to run a certain thing.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Because before I wasn't really like if I saw something, I was hardly going to search for certain
just
maps or modifiers. All the time.
drag and scroll through.
Yeah.
I think they added a. I don't know if they mentioned this anyway, but I'm pretty sure you zoom out slightly more now too. So I know that was a bit of an issue. It was quite zoomed in, wasn't it?
I wish you could like zoom out even more and it would just show you like biomes and not
Yeah,
the individual nodes.
people have mentioned that like again like Crusader Kings and that where you zoom out and it
Yeah.
kind of turns into like a drawn map, something like
I would
that. I
love
don't,
that. That would be very cool.
don't know how that would work here, but maybe that would help. Okay, classes and build discussion, aka Lance and Noogie help Ziggy pick his league starter. Let's first talk about the 2 new ascendancies. Monk, martial artist. Who wants to take the lead on explaining and talking about their thoughts on the monk martial artist ascendancy? I did actually play a little bit of this one, but I don't think that makes me very well equipped.
We
because
could
it
have
was
the guy who
half-finished.
played Spirit Walker describe the martial artist badly, and then have the martial artist guy talk about this. I think both Doogie and I have done the exact like I've done looking at Spirit Walker a lot.
I don't know Spirit Walker at all. I couldn't
Yeah.
tell you right
Yeah,
now.
it's like I was like I have not looked at martial artists too much.
So go ahead, Noogie.
Right. I mean, we can just take them node for node, or like, I mean, I'll say this: it's a powerhouse. That's the first. That's like the first thing there is to say.
Yeah.
It's just a powerhouse. Defensively, it's probably it'll definitely. I think it'll rival Invoker defensively. So Invoker can do the whole like meditate thing. But that's even like a lot of people probably don't even like having to like meditate and all that. It's very powerful to do. But the glove node here can give you up to 20% more evasion and the energy shield. Just that in itself, and the gloves becomes pretty much close to a full chest in terms of
The
stats.
gloves are
Chest
insane.
and a weapon in one.
Crazy. It's like just like raw like defensive stats. This is already a powerhouse, and like all the unique mods on there. So it turns stats into like flat crit chance, onslaught on attack speed. I think is onslaught. You can get quality. Like I think +2 melee skills is 10 quality. That's really powerful. So this is just one ascendancy point. What the hell?
Yeah, it's a crazy one.
So glove is crazy. I think they nerfed. Did they buff it again? I don't know. The Way of the Mountain looked to be
Is that
in the
the
first
one where you, like,
iteration
meditate?
very strong. So the Way of the Mountain is the surpassing chance on disabling. It's like the freeze is done, and you get like this like little buff that you can expend on I think either attacks or getting hit. You can have up to 30 of them. 15% more damage. It's nice. It was 20. So that's fine. But then the DR went from 70 to 40. I think this node would have actually been like a no-brainer for like campaign. At least before. Now it's like It's impactful, but not as much.
I mean, it's still pretty freaking good, though.
It's good. I mean, it was under the right conditions. It was potentially very strong before. Now it's more like can you make use of it? Probably. It's the kind of thing that's like, but Way of the Mountain is kind of one of those things because it checks against your how is it? It's 30%. Any attack that does less than 30% of your max HP gets mitigated by 40%. So the more you use content, and let's say you are using like minus max crit damage, and like as damage goes up in the end game, this becomes less reliable.
The opposite of what I want, eh?
Yeah. But against static content like pinnacle bosses, you could absolutely set it up to where it always applies when you want it.
Yeah.
So it's this like, it's potentially very, very strong. Then you have probably the flashiest thing is probably Holoform Technique. It's the one that you channel. You can move while channeling, and then spirits will come, or ancestral spirits will come out, and they will start doing their attack.
Oh, Nuke, can I ask you a specific question about this?
Yeah.
Is it 9 times damage? I've heard claims about it being 9 times damage.
No.
How much damage is it? Just
depends on the skill.
Yeah.
Can you give me like an average expected amount that you think you're getting from it?
I think. Let me see. So it's like I mean it's double damage.
Okay. Thanks. Sorry, I just wanted to settle an argument. Don't worry about it. All right, thank you.
But it's like it can be more. I think it's because it's a very tricky one, because it's like the channel rate is not well, actually the 18 is not impossible. Or whatever, given the right circumstance.
No, don't say that, Nuke. What the hell?
No, but I don't know if there's a weapon or there's a setup in the game where this is enabled. But so the thing here is that you can scale things that are unscalable with attack speed.
Yeah, that's the most interesting potential. It's like being able to use things in a way that you can normally. I'm a little bit like, I think this one's going to be very powerful in very specific cases, but as like a general user, I'm a bit skeptical on it. I was messing around with it, and like it's changed probably a bit since I was messing around with it. I'm like, oh, this is a hard skill to get right. This is a tricky one. And obviously you need a source of power charges to be nice and consistent as well. So you're
don't getting it without a power charge. It's just don't take it unless you have a power charge. It triples.
It's not something you can take don't take it in the campaign. It's a 2-pointer you can take in the campaign. Probably don't do that. Take the bell or take the gloves.
You can
most
take
likely.
it in the campaign. You can, if you have power charge generation. There's plenty of ways to power charge generate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I wouldn't take it as the first point.
Dude, you're an animal. You're gonna start. What are you doing? Are you devouring every monster? What's going on there?
Yeah, you devour one monster and then you delete everything. Or you stun you can just wind blast.
What skill would you use?
And then or like what is it? Wind. There's like 2 wind skills. There's the wind monk skill, wind other skill,
wyvern skill, yeah.
And then you get 3 power charges. And you literally win, like you one shot.
Yeah, I think like as your
cycle will absolutely
work.
Under the right setup, that kills the boss every time.
Yeah,
like that 3 power charge setup.
Okay.
I think at least you can set it up. It's that way, so it's very strong. But it's very good for anything that has fixed attack time or an attack rate that is lower than the channeled attack rate.
Does it work with any weapon type? I couldn't quite remember. Like, does it work with a mace, for example?
Yeah. So there's actually there is one thing that could break it. If it functions like General's Cry. So PoE General's Cry, every instance of General's Cry is its own unique instance, which means that there are like lingering effects that these things do that you can stack. Now, there's fissures in PoE are usually tied only to your character, but if they're now tied to the individual ones, you can you could 9x the fissures and you could slam them all.
This is a wild card of skill. I tell you.
That's a scary one.
Balance. Balancing
so
nightmare for sure.
That is there's scary potential here. So yeah.
The other
Then
ones are the
there's,
bells.
yeah.
The bells. Yeah. So you've got I
Bells.
did mess around with these ones a bit. There's the bells that auto place themselves around you, and you can like palm them to get power charges, or they just pop and
Yeah.
blast enemies around them. And then the bell on your back seems insane. It pulses with damage whenever you crit, right? So
Backpack
seems like a
bell.
clear speed machine.
Yeah.
Just like through a map. It's just critting off your back. Seems kind of nuts.
It sounds really
Feeling.
nice if you are doing something where you have like a movement skill oriented play style,
Yeah.
and then you need that damage as you come in. So like if you're palming around or pouncing or leaping or whatever it is you're doing, and you're not doing much damage as you come in, or you're putting a debuff that needs to be consumed immediately, then the crit on the bell can do that for you. That is what they showed with like Shattering Palm.
I can't remember the exact one, but you can add like an extra charge or something to the bells that appear around you, and it basically increases the rate at which they spawn. And I was like, this doesn't seem intended. And I asked specifically, and I said, yep, that's fine. That's how it's supposed to be.
Wait, extra charge?
Yeah, like I'm trying to remember exactly if it was this. Sorry, because I didn't
Wait,
end
does
up reviewing the footage.
overabundance spawn too?
I think it's overabundance. Yeah, it makes it basically spawn more. Like you would think, oh, you
What?
can have one extra max or something, but it
Are you
does actually make
sure? Are you sure you didn't play it before they changed it to cooldown? Because before it was based on
possible.
duration. Now they changed it to cooldown.
Just test it. Just test it. Make sure. But yeah, just try it out. Because I tried something and I was like, that doesn't seem like it just made it way better. It meant that it was proccing way more often, and I was like, oh, that doesn't seem intentional by us, and they said it was. So
No, but
I don't
that
know, just try
was
those. Just
before,
try anything
like-
related to charges or cooldown stuff, because
I'm pretty sure it was duration.
there was
when
like
you played
night
it.
and day for the quality of it. So there's probably a mandatory gem there, I'm thinking.
No, I think it's changed. I think you played an early version.
Okay, maybe. Anyway,
Because they literally like so from like they is this updated? If it says
it
here,
wasn't this month ago.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just they've just changed it. I think that was duration. Just overabundance is specifically duration.
And here Ziggy said he didn't get anything nerfed, guys. So
I think that was a broad change. It was me. Yeah, cooldown thing.
Yeah, we did it to the time, the persistent jewel or gem as well.
Yeah. So martial artist looks pretty lit.
It's very good.
Definitely want to try that one at some time. But are you guys starting martial artist?
Oh no, we forgot like another one. Probably the one that they didn't show, but we have now.
Oh,
the
we know what
combo
it is now?
points. That any
points.
attack enables combo points. This is the thing.
I just got a confirmation from GGG they did change the like overabundance thing. You're right.
Yeah.
Thanks, team.
No, so basically you can use any weapon sets and any attack type to generate combo points.
That's kind of cool.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing stuff with bells. So like there are some. Okay, so I will snitch right now because this needs to be deleted. I shot bell where you can shotgun with every single shard onto the boss needs to die. Okay, guys, I'll spill the beans. At level 20 gem, it is 7,500 effective damage. Snipe is like 3,000. It's like double sniping, and you can literally just spam it.
Although what I'm playing, I'm surprised they went the route with the bells. Making have multiple of them.
Sorry, guys, that need to die.
I thought they'd reinforce the big single bell, but for some reason they've gone double down on like more and more bells. How many bells can you place now? 3, 4 bells?
3? Oh, I love that.
One on your back, the one you're randomly spawning.
Well, yeah, 3 of the main bells, and then you back one on the random ones too. So you got like 7 bells on the field.
Oh yeah, we can ancestrally boost them. That's so cool. It's triple bell, like boom.
Yeah, you just reminded me of the ancestrally boosted spells thing. Oh, so sick. That's awesome. I think ancestral boosting is just a good mechanic.
I forgot about that. That's
like
cool.
Self-cast. It helps with like big single cast stuff. It just feels good. I like it. I kind of wish the color was different though. I don't really like the green color they went with this time.
I mean, that's just the
Tier 1
animation they have for all the
Ancestral.
other Ancestral Boost stuff, right? The green
Yeah,
spikes.
no, but I don't like the color scheme of it. It's kind of weird. Why's it green?
Do you miss
I
like
guess the
old Fist of
Kirui
War with
kinda
like the
jade
red?
stuff. Yeah, I like the Fist of War red stuff more, but anyway,
Fair
that's
enough.
hardly important. Okay, so that's Monk. We also have Huntress, the Spirit Walker, which I know has some excitement from you, Lance, specifically for the
Oh, hell
boss
yeah.
companion stuff. There's a few things going on here. I'm curious about. So, tell us about that first, and then we'll explore what are the other parts of Spirit Walker. Tell me about the. What are you doing, Lance, and why are you excited about Huntress?
I'm excited because I am going to get vengeance on Trauma for every time I've died to the Monkey Slam. And I'm going to take it out on every boss in the game by killing every boss with the Monkey Slam. Because the unique tame. And it's in the JSON file, the more recent one they released. At one point they did the showcase and they're like, oh, the Izmiri Spirit thing is gone. And the new JSON file they gave, it has the Izmiri Spirit again. So your unique tame beast will have the like a random rotating Izmiri Spirit buff. And I was doing some testing with the tablets. You can add mods to unique mobs, and the tame beast cares about up to 4 modifiers. So I'm looking forward to having this Izmiri Spirit possession. They procced Onslaught, and then hopefully I can give some like hasted mods to the monkey, and he's just gonna be just like on just. I don't know what's exactly a good way to describe it. Cocaine. He's going all everywhere, just zooming around, slamming things. Bananas, yeah.
Everyone back. Let's go. But he's going bananas. That's right. He's going bananas.
Yeah.
Do you think it will really be good? I have a hard time believing.
I genuinely think it'll be good. I think they sandbag their showcase really heavily, and I also think they didn't necessarily try their hardest to make it like a good passive tree per se, and like leverage a lot of these benefits you could for to make it do damage basically.
Yeah, I think some of the stuff didn't even probably exist when they were filming the showcase as well. So,
like, I'll put it this way: the
stuff.
showcase they gave, the monkey was moving the same speed it would when you normally run into it.
Oh,
yeah.
Which to me that indicates they didn't invest into any attack speed at all, and that makes a huge difference. If you've ever like run into PB1, that is the obvious example I have, is you run into like a quad ghost thing, and all of a sudden that boss is like just doing things like crazy. And it's like, that's 100 attack speed, but it feels like it's an onslaught type of thing. So I'm pretty optimistic because there's quite a few attack speed sources we can get on it.
So you're just gonna play it like a pure summoner then? With like
it's not. I wouldn't call it a summoner. I wouldn't use that word. I would say Pokemon Master Companion, not minion, completely different.
Sounds like a summoner to me.
I hate you, Ziggy, so much, you bastard. You better watch.
It's like, look, it's
sleep your eyes open.
Spectre, where you take a monster and turn it into a minion. You take a monster and turn it into. Hold on.
I heard DM talk about weapon swapping, and you can summon, like, you can have 1-on-1, and you like literally like Pokemon out one, and then.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you because you can have multiple tame beasts, right? And you could say this tame beast is on weapon set 1, this tame beast is on weapon set 2, and let's say you have one that this unique boss is really good at clear, but its single target is kind of bad, and you have one that's really good at single target where its clear is kind of bad, and that you could do that weapon swap for sure.
Yeah, that's a very cool fantasy. I like that. I like that's right up my alley.
There is a whole other part of the Ascendancy that does stuff.
Well, that's what I want to hear about. Like,
but it's not that important. Okay, it's just
I would love to hear about the other part of the Ascendancy that does stuff because it looked kind of cool. You're like Spirit Deers smashing through enemies and stuff. Like, tell me about the other parts of
the other part of the Ascendancy. I think is actually fairly decently strong because, like, okay, so. You have the stag part and the owl part. And the owl part's like, here, I'm going to give you some extra proj and some proj speed, which is pretty strong in its own right. but it has the condition of you need to roll to activate it, which is a little bit awkward. The stag has an attack-based thing that can maybe double hit. I think there's a good chance it can double hit, which is some decent effectiveness, but it requires you to walk. They have like these two weird kind of conditions. I think the scenario you want to end up with, if you're trying to build around these, you grab all three, where you get the special thing that gives essentially the stags the ability to kind of like target, as well
like a secret node
as
there.
the I believe it's the ground effect of your projectiles now give you like onslaught, I think, which is like a really nice benefit. And then the third one, the companion, gives you damage bypass, which I think opens up a really strong tank factor, because the companion thing gives intimidate, which makes enemies deal 10% reduced damage, as well as take 10% increased damage. 8% diversion. You can put loyalty on it, or the lineage version, which gives recoup for all the damage that went to that companion. And you can basically force a bunch of tank stuff on it with this nice damage diversion thing for defensive use. And then you either specialize and say, I'm going into this more of this projectile angle with the second node on the owl, or more trying to make the stags better. And I think that gives you a decent package in terms of like an attack-based character. The extra proj, onslaught, just with the Ascendancy node, the loyalty gem, the node on the tree. Sarkonja's was one of the legacy runes. You're looking at like 30% damage directed to your companion. You put a bunch of tank like supports on him, he's going to be fairly tanky. Like, I feel like it's got a decent package to work with, to be honest. I'm not going to mess with that package because I'm just going to make the monkey hit everything. But I think it's got some like legitimate build making behind it.
Yeah, it sounds kind of awesome, and it certainly looked very cool in the reveals. But so for myself, a bit greedily, I don't know what I want to play. I don't want to just play Explosive Grenade again, because I freaking love Explosive Grenade, but I need to stop playing it.
It would be really
Maybe
good
I'll play
with grenades.
Spear.
The owl extra
completely
proj.
different. No, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. Okay, so I'll play something completely different. Explosive Spear. Okay, it's definitely not the same as Explosive Grenade, right? If I was going to play Explosive Spear, would it be reasonable for me to play a Spirit Walker, do you think? Or do you think I'd be silly and there should be...
Does Explosive Spear benefit from extra proj? Do you get extra explosions?
I think you're limited by the amount of them that you can plant in the ground at any one time.
Like as a limit gem on it type of thing?
Yes, you can do more of those with like the support gem, but like you can have 2 down.
I could maybe see it with the stag in terms of like, but I don't know. I don't know if you get enough benefit out of, because like if you're not really benefited from the extra proj, I don't know if it necessarily pairs great if it is to have that limitation.
Dang. You reckon the monk would do better? Monk Explosive Spear, interesting.
I think, yeah.
I
feel like monk's
pretty
generically good attack base wise.
Yeah.
What would you do? What would you benefit from on the monk?
But the thing, okay, so on monk, you do have to. So it's like you can get the 3 generic ones: Wave the Mountain, Ruining Meridians, and the gloves. That'll just work. And then you just
work with any other weapon type? I thought they were unarmed. Am I getting confused because of I was using them with armed?
They're just good.
They just work for anything? Okay.
Yeah.
This works for anything.
Yeah.
And then you can just smack on the bell that spawns, and you just use it to call. You can generate a power charge. You can probably, you can use that as part of your charge engine, because you will need charges.
Do power charges become frenzy charges, or do endurance charges become frenzy charges?
I think power charges become endurance, I believe.
Yeah.
So you don't get the frenzies for Explosive Spear.
But you could just use like charge
regulator. Color Weak
generators.
You can just Color Weak on them, on the bells, right? Like I think they are colorable for that. The point is they're colorable. Color Weak just looks fine. And they buff Color Weak too. I think they gave them like faster attack speed baseline.
There you go.
So okay, maybe I'll play an Explosive Spear Martial Artist. I'm kind of wild. It's not very on theme, but maybe interesting.
Just find a way to immobilize, which is nice if you're playing Explosive Spear anyways, to have immobilize. But that would be a good thing to get the buff going. And I think you will find that you'll just feel very strong very early. just
Yeah.
because it just comes online very
Intriguing.
fast. Yeah.
I've been saying I haven't played a monk yet, but I feel like if I play a spear monk, it's going to be kind of not really. That won't really count.
Not
but...
really a monk, are you now?
Because I keep playing spears and I keep playing grenades. It's like I gotta play a different class. I know I'll play a monk with a spear, or maybe with grenades, or maybe
Hey man,
both.
you know what archetype
And you can
like.
parry too. Woo!
I do like parry. Oh,
Hey, I know, so I'm trying to sell it to you. So yeah.
I'm a
And
parry
parries get more
hater,
and
but
more
I've started to use it because it's too powerful. It's
I am a base parry enjoyer. He gets to just embarrass bosses. It's so good.
it's
It's even started feeling good on packs now. It's crazy.
it's too
they're buffing
strong.
it
It's
more.
ridiculous. They keep buffing. It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna
I
buff it
wanna use
again
parry
too. I
now.
know for a fact they're buffing it again. Jonathan wants to buff it even more. I know it. Next patch is going to be parry buffs again. I'm going to play parry again. Sounds amazing. They also changed some other ascendancies. I didn't technically have this on our list of things to talk about, but is there anything of the other ascendancy changes you guys? People are talking like they looked good. The changes looked good. From my perspective, how have you guys
I thought
digested
the
those a bit more?
Chrono-
That was just first impression.
I thought Chrono was very solid. Like it frees up some of your how you can build it. No longer forces you to do 8 points to get both the time freeze and the reset, which I like that in terms of like it gives you some more options to how to build it. And the Gemini Legionnaire, I thought the change was like I feel like it didn't change too much. / it's just completely tied to whether or not the skill you want to play has a good alt quality to it. Which so that one kind of fell flat for me. Was the Gemlin one, but I don't know if you guys felt differently about those two or.
No, Chrono looks very cool. It's a very, very cool second character to play. That's kind of my feel.
For me, it's the third
I don't
character.
know,
My second character is gonna be Fist of
It's just
Stones.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's like it doesn't give me that much like. I guess I'm sure some people would be like, oh no, but you don't know about like that setup, and I'm sure there's gonna be some setups. So yeah, I just don't know enough about Toronto to have like a strong thing that I know I will play.
Okay. Any other build related things? We kind of talked about defenses already, unless there's anything you guys want to add to that. Lance, you were mentioning the new passives. Did you end up putting any pictures in the can
No,
for that?
I did
Anybody?
not. I forgot.
Oh, good.
I
oh,
have
good.
all the
Is there anything
passives.
that stood out from the passives?
They're right here. Do you want to see?
Oh, nice.
I even have them all highlighted. Look, that's all the new passives and the changed ones. This is everything that's changed.
Holy, that's a lot.
Yeah, right.
Christmas
That's a lot, right? I will highlight a few places for you
Everywhere, yeah.
guys if you're interested.
Yeah. Tell us what you
Okay.
think stands out.
So
Okay.
Monk got a new wheel, as you can see here. Fire Rest, Chaos Rest, Deflection, and Faster Energy Shield.
Oh, cool.
50% reduced curse on you.
This wheel is so good, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like there was no deflection
20
that far,
evasion energy shield and 2 res again. Like there's just so
Holy.
much power here. Yeah, it's very strong.
Juicy.
That wheel's gonna be
Feel
on
like
the
it's
heat
a
map. I'm calling it now.
Look down here. Look down here. Knights of Arcus. 20 armor apply. So not like some random like lightning or cold or fire anymore. They're adding
nice.
a lot of just generic armor applied. Plus glory generation. Then we have even more of it here. Plus deflection. And you have banner stuff. So this is, I mean, this is like saying, hey, you should play Tactician. They're also adding this new type, new modifier, reduced armor break taken. Now I will say, for having
do you feel
played
like you noticed that a lot when you played an armor character?
No, not at all.
I don't think I really noticed it whether or not it was happening.
You mitigate so much. Like, so the thing is, when you get the modifier that breaks your armor, if you have enough armor, the hits are so small it can't break your armor. So it's really bad when you don't have enough armor. Like when you're like mid to low tier, that's when it's really. That's why people are dying. That's why people are dying on
hybrid. Design flaw. If it wasn't,
I mean, it's very weird this way, but yeah. So yeah,
I was kind of thinking, it's like I don't feel like I noticed it too much on my character, so I might have been over the threshold of having enough armor for it not to matter.
Do you see it?
Parry.
You see the line?
Barry debuff magnitude. Oh, cool. Over here, not just in the, not
Yeah.
just over to the right. Awesome.
Here's another one. Look at this one. Armor applies to chaos damage.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, that's a good
Juicy.
one. Yeah,
Is
so
that gonna
that's
feel?
a good one.
I feel like that's such a rare stat, though. Is 20% really gonna feel like? I guess if you're already an armor character and you're looking for a little bit more tank to
mean-
your chaos.
Chaos starts to get pretty, like, you get pretty tanky even just with the resist. You add some armor on top of that, and oof.
Yeah, because you go from having like it can very often be like you go from having nothing to having some, and that can be like 50 DR. If it's like a lot, if
It's
let's say
not
there's
balanced
just
around that, right?
just let's say you have tons of armor somehow, but all these like small chaos hits, you can't really do anything about it. All of a sudden, you might actually negate a lot of it.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
like it's
a lot of that like chip
I think
damage
chaos
coming
hits are very spammy. They're they're not like big hard hits. They're usually
Yeah.
just very spammy. So I
That's true.
think it might be good. Vol Pact, but we know about this already, right? But it's very good. It looks very good. Oh, leech notes down here. Life. Some increased life notes here. Yeah, I like this. The leech stuff looks really cool. Over here, there's another. Basically, there's 3 quadrants of types of defense I want to highlight, which
There
is
is life
the
points on the tree. 1% increase in
armor.
life.
Yeah, and then there's the new deflection stuff. I mean, they've buffed all the deflection basically, and they've changed the.
Isn't the formula better
thing.
too? Or am I crazy?
Yeah, it is. You will, if you are investing a decent amount into deflection, and especially if you can apply blind, you will get the 95. Like it is no longer something you can't get. You get it, and I would say if you play tactician, you get 99 point whatever that thing is with lucky.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's actually
Super
reliable
juicy.
now. And
This is great.
then lastly, I just want to highlight here, they removed mana and energy shield over here, and now you have armor.
Oh,
So
making armor, yes, a bit better. They
Yeah,
were
yeah,
specifically wanting to do that. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. and then you have
Nice.
the recoup. So yeah, lots of changes. It'll
Awesome.
change.
Yeah, that's so much more than I thought.
Yeah. I think tactician is looking very juicy. Oh, lots of companion notes as well.
The companion notes
Lots of
are
companion
really
notes.
good.
Yeah, they look very good. I
You gotta
forget
look at
what
those
they
if you
are,
have a
but
companion build.
yeah,
What's that?
they're very good.
Cool. I
So-
said you'll look at those if you have a companion build.
Yeah.
I'll link,
Not to
I'll
look at them
link
otherwise.
this for people if they want to look. There you go.
Pretty cool. Nikki, did you say what you were going to play? We know what Lance is playing. I
I'm
have an
playing
idea
bells.
now.
So
You're playing bells?
yeah, and the whole idea is I stack the 2 buffs that monk usually have, which is charge staff and staggering palm.
Yep.
And every time I attack, it shoots out 2 projectiles. Then you have the build 2 combo points, and all attacks can build combo points. So 2 projectiles comes out, that hits 2 times, that generates 4 combo points. How much does bell cost? 4 combo points. That means I place a bell down. Projectiles comes out, I place a bell down. Projectiles comes out, so I can just click bell. Nothing but bells.
The Bell
Hey, it's great.
Master.
Bells.
That's the idea. Just nothing but
All
bells.
right. Sounds sick.
Is
Look
the
forward to seeing
staggering
it.
palm charge staff, is that like pretty easy to get those online? I forget what the requirements are for activating those.
So charge staff is power charges, and I click mantra 1 time and I fire 5. Like once I get Aelith. Before that, you can killing palm.
Yeah, okay.
So before that, charge staff is a little annoying. After that, it's free. You even have too many charges at that point, so I could use it for something else, Flicker Strike, or the Falling Thunder, or whatever.
Mhm.
Staggering palm, super easy because I'll have the one that spawn spells around me, so I'll just tuk, and then that's uptime forever.
Okay.
All right. We shall round out with some predictions to finish us off for today. After I realize we've been going for like 3 hours, apparently.
Jesus.
First prediction: most played class. Niggy, do you have a most played class?
What's Falcon playing? God damn it.
He's playing Ranger.
No, you got to do it off the top of your head.
He's playing what?
You betting on Flub Gun?
Yep.
Yes. This type of round, I think I am. Because I think it's going to be such an even spread if he wasn't around and he just tips the favor. I think that's how it's gonna go this time.
I'm betting on martial artist. I'm betting on monk.
If it wasn't a monk, I would say martial artist would be the top. I just don't know. I think monk doesn't really ever appeal to the broadest number of people. So I'm going to go with the huntress. I'm going to go with huntress spirit walker. But I wonder if that has the same trap, though. I'm just not as clear about that. I just don't think monk gets there, even if it was like the best. I don't think necessarily the most number of people would play it. Just monk theme.
I'm just thinking martial artist is going to carry. My second would probably be huntress. I just think a lot of people want to play the new thing, and I just think martial artists is the more
people saw those twisters.
Yeah,
like, a lot
popular.
of people just watching casually saw those twisters, and that's what they're going to play. Something like that. Most played skill. This one's a harder one, I think. I don't know.
Most played skill.
Okay, I'm gonna go last.
I guess to reinforce my earlier guess, I guess I'm going to say twisters, but I think this is a long shot. I really don't know on this one, but twister is probably at least that first week maybe is most played skill. But
and this is by like week 2 or something.
Yeah, I guess by week 2. I don't know by week 2. It might change again, but yeah, I'm even less sure. But I think maybe twisters. If we're not talking, we can't say herald advice. That's cheating.
Like an actual your main skill that's doing damage.
An actual main skill, yeah.
That's tricky.
Week
like
2
part of
is
me
enough
thinks,
time
okay, that's enough time
changed.
for people to get cast on crit setups going again for Comet.
Mm.
But I don't know if it's actually enough time. I'm gonna bet on the Spirit Walker Enjoyers Tame Beast. There's no way, but I'm gonna say Tame Beast. Screw it.
No way. That would be pretty funny.
I was gonna guess that.
Really?
Okay, all right.
Well, but mine was like kind of a cheat because it's like everyone, a lot of people use it for auras.
Oh yeah, for buffs.
So it's like part of yeah.
Well, I think you can search by like if they have it.
I think it'll get a lot of play though. Okay, I'll guess most played.
Whirling
Assault.
Whirling Assault. Yeah,
I think that might because it can be played on so many characters.
Yeah, and that with bells is going to be pretty lit, I imagine. That's probably yes. I think you might win that one. But
it's hard to know whether or not it's actually main skills because a lot of people use it as like just part of it, the whole thing.
It's
so
weird because the whole every skill can be a 6-link thing.
Yeah,
if it's the thing you're doing constantly as you run around and not like a spirit skill or something. This was your question, Noogie. Will endgame juices be fulfilled? So this wasn't specifically it wasn't something broader like, will people like the endgame on the whole, but like, will endgame juices be fulfilled? And I think 2 weeks might be enough time to answer that question, but also maybe not. I don't know. What are your predictions on will endgame juices be fulfilled, Noogie, with this new endgame?
By week
and what does
2
that mean to you?
Yes. So it basically there can't be a bunch of complaining posts from endgame players on like that. We'll just use Reddit as like a if there's more positive posts about the endgame from people who juice than negative.
Yep.
And it can't if it's like 50-50, then it's not solved. But if it's mostly positive,
when they start to appear, usually if there's like a bunch of negative things, that's when they start to appear. So if we start to see that trend, I guess we'll know. Assuming we'll be podcasting in 2 weeks, so give us an idea.
Yeah.
What about you, Lance? Do you think endgame juices will be fulfilled with this new from what you've seen the endgame?
I think if we're talking about overall sentiment, I think it's going to be positive. That's what I'm going to guess. I'm gonna say I believe in GGG that they did a good job.
I think the overall is going to be very positive, especially that like first week or 2 for the like vast majority of people. The endgame juices question is much harder though, because like, what does it feel like after you get outside of all of the quest lined stuff in the fortress? And I think there's going to be a lot more there, but that's gonna feel closer to the old endgame than you. There's just going to be a lot more stuff happening. So Does that deal with whatever issues those people might have had back then? Maybe. I don't know. I'm a bit less sure about this. I think at the 2-week mark, yes. I think people will be satisfied at the 2-week mark. But we'll see
Give
again
them,
at
give
like
them 2
the
months to
1
start
month
really
mark,
building
whether
the
they're
salt. This isn't enough.
Yeah, but yeah, I doubt in 2 weeks that people are going to be dissatisfied. So I'll say yes. I mean, it's a 3-way yes on that, just because of the time frame. But 1
you
month
more
will
of the
give
honeymoon
a longer
period.
time period to. Honestly, 1 month is way longer than most people are going to play. So really, it's not a big deal if this happens. But yeah, 1 month, then I think people would be like, oh, now I'm having these problems, or I'm sure there'll be some. They've changed so much stuff that there's going to be some awkwardnesses. I'm sure there's going to be some unintended kind of problems or whatever. It's just too much stuff all at once. But the first 2 weeks is probably going to be pretty good. Final question: biggest monkey hit on record. I don't even know what I don't even have like a broad ballpark for this question. It's like what is like the max hit that people do, and what's the max hit the minions do? I don't even have like a vague notion of this.
20 mil.
20 mil, is that
Going
a
that
real
high?
number?
I'm one tapping Arbiter with my
Yeah.
monkey. You wait,
Yeah.
you wait and see, buddy. The one tap monkey is
really
coming.
high number, though. That's really high.
What's yours, NieNie?
10.
10
mil?
damage.
10 mil.
All right.
10 million. Okay, I'm gonna say 15 million.
Oh, shit.
Whoever's closest.
Watch it end
will
up
win
being
this
like 1
prediction.
mil. Like I get a Prism of Disbelief. I have a Sanctified +5 Scepter. I have a Mirror Tier Mace, and it's like, oh, 1 mil. That's it.
Whoever's closest. I was gonna guess 20 million and one otherwise. But maybe I should say 900. Yeah, 1 minus 10 million. I'm gonna say that actually.
Oh
I'm
my,
changing my answer.
that's that.
1 minus 10 million.
No,
10
what is
million
that
minus
guess,
one, so,
Ziggy? What
yep.
is that?
Yep. Yep. 9,999,999. That's my guess. Whoever's closest will win this prediction.
All right.
Yep.
You son of a bitch, Ziggy. Well, thank you, fellas, for doing a nice, long, fun podcast with us. We will probably see you folks again in a bit over 2 weeks, I imagine.
Yep.
For our follow-up, find out how our predictions are, and there'll be a lot to discuss and digest. So, happy league start, everyone.
Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
Happy league start.
See you fine folks next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for the podcast, fellas.
Sorry, I had a bunch of internet drops in the middle. That was I don't mind.
Good. No worries.
All right.
Yeah, it was just cooked for some reason. Sorry.
No problem. No worries whatsoever. Just good at it. Like, you solved it. It worked. I was like, oh no, Lance might leave us. So sad. I was actually sad.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
We did it. Made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go say good morning to my fam. And I'll catch you fine folks later. Enjoy
You
your
guys
league
take care.
starts. Oh,
See you
bye-bye.
later. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. That was the podcast with Noogie and Ziggy. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think my internet seems to be working now and not bricked. So that's good. I saw we drop Lance for the podcast. If he drops internet again, whoa, how easy? What the hell? You're supposed to be on my side. Chill. Are you still streaming? Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming for a bit more, Noogie. I'm gonna be streaming for a bit more. Unless my internet dies, in which case, I'll put it this way: if my internet dies one more time, I am not rebooting the stream. I'm just gonna call it for the day. Was that a 3-hour podcast? Yeah, maybe. Don't worry about it. Who needs a clock anyways? Lance, known minion enjoyer, parry hater, and copium huffer, overhyping monkey slams, shake my head. Okay, first of all, I am not a known minion enjoyer. I'm just a guy who gets to train a diverse skill set on a regular basis, once per league, just to expand my horizons, learn a little bit. And number two, what's wrong with hating parry? What is actually wrong with hating parry? That's a very legitimate Did you see the Nito? You saw the patch note though. They're patching the what's it called? The Miller's backhand is now parryable. The only non-parryable attack of the game is now parryable. The one thing holding parry back has been nerfed. The backhand. Parry buffed? Yep, parry buffed. Color me surprised. Parry gets away with it again. Somehow, some way. I know 50 cheese puff golems who would say you are, in fact, a minion enjoyer. Listen, that was a cool build, okay? I'll not stand here. Okay, what the hell? Is it gonna let me mark? It's not letting me mark him. Alright, whatever. I have no idea what's going on. It's gonna let me mark this time? What we doing live? Yo, Noogie. Appreciate the raid, Noogie. Appreciate the raid. What am I doing so wrong with this fight? Huh? What? Okay, look away, guys. Look away. I don't know what happened. What, did I brick something with this character? I've done multiple Twister runs to this fight, and every time it's been a cakewalk, but this time it just isn't for some reason. What the heck's going on here? You know what, guys? I think we're making a good case for not nerfing Twisters right now, okay? Because where the hell is my damage? This is very ethical. This is very ethical. Ethical as can be. Oh, I have ice ground for the first time ever this entire fight. Did I like do something to my weapon? Like full stop. What the hell's going on? Oh no. Stop. Don't you dare. What the hell happened with this run? Is it just my weapon's really bad? That was actually the worst this character's ever done in that fight. By like a large margin. Your shotgun is missing the boss. Yeah, the boss is like on this fight is like not targetable or something. There's something whack going on with it. We're not using parry anymore, so that is gone.
All right.
Flat damage it is.
Sands guide you. This it'll take if my the American.
It's because you weren't parrying. Is ice tipped on the right set? It is. Yeah, it's on one. Twister's on one. Whirling slash on two. Yep, it should be the right area. I don't know. I bricked something. I don't know what I bricked, but I bricked something.
In all my wanderings, I've not seen anything.
I think it's maybe just bad weapon. No lightning damage. No, we have lightning here. I don't know.
Between us now,
I'm gonna chalk it up to bad gearing. Ooh. Does Blood Magic, Blood Mage Fireball build still play in 0.5? I have not kept it up to date. It has been nerfed multiple times with tech rods and a few other things. That's not to say you can't play a Blood Mage character, but my build for that I made is very out of date. So I would say look for a more updated video on somebody playing Blood Mage, because the one there I did was from 0.3 and a lot has changed since then. A lot of a lot of nerfs. You're doing Boss Tamer, we're doing Boss Tamer. We just need to get to... I'm going to swap to it in Act 3 once I do the second lab, so... Twisters, in my mind, is the strongest leveling I can do, and I just want to get to that level as fast as possible, is the thought process. Have you thought about going recovery defense as Spear Walker? I think initially we're going to go hybrid evasion ES with damage diversion to companion plus ghost dance is my initial thought process for starting defensive layers. Alright, well, we found our Barya. Is it me or is this gameplay style cancerous? If you really don't like the playstyle, don't play Twisters. I was saying this earlier. Somebody else was saying they really don't like the playstyle of Twisters, and I was like, just don't let me catch you saying it's overpowered if you think it's not even playable. I feel like there's a lot of people saying Twister's overpowered, needs a nerf, but also wouldn't want to play it either at the same time. I think it's overpowered, needs a nerf, but I'm not speaking out of both sides of my mouth and saying it's unplayable at the same time. Seems like 3-button setup with a dodge in between. I mean, the dodge is just the fact that the skill, you move when you click the button. Which, in one regard, you can say this is awkward, that it moves your character. But I think this is one of the few cases where the move your character, it's not like changing your targeting. It's pure, like, upside. Because you can choose to make it just never move your character. But the reason why most of the times I am using it to move my character is because it also makes it so you don't get hit, right? It gives you a layer of avoidance where you can continue to do your optimal damage rotation of sorts while not losing, while not being a sitting duck, essentially. Movements, defense, yeah, it takes you out of like a part where you're gonna die. And you have to understand, the other thing about this is, the other part that's strong is, yes, I'm doing multiple things together, but it also kills multiple enemies across the screen, like, because the projectiles fly out and they bounce around and stuff. I need to find this quest thing. Gotta find the letter. I don't have that yet, do I? Nope. I think my gear's just way worse this run because there's no league mechanic. Oh, here it is.
didn't speak. Need some. You found when I have.
All right, we gotta go do a lab now. Yeah, we'll do lab now with this spear. That'll be our weapon set 2. A 2.15 attack speed spear is a secondary weapon. You're gonna be zooming. Yep.
Just a metal, is it? Suits me just fine.
Which that's just basically just getting an attack speed roll on the wing spear, pretty much, right? If normally an ice monkey, the Yeti and Interludes does the same damage on paper, but Yeti converts to cold, wouldn't that be better than normal monkey? Potentially, because you could go for like minus res stuff. Yeah, that'd be. I don't know if they do the same damage though. Do we know if the cold monkey does just straight up convert all the damage to cold? Because then you can do like exposure and LE weakness and a bunch of minus res and stuff, right? And you get the freeze for immobilize better. Is there a map with cold monkey? That I don't know. Which that would be favor of a regular monkey then. Can we do poison monkey? Yeah, it does have the 40% poison on hit, which is solid.
Relish your mortality.
Yeah, what the hell? There is a cold monkey map. Yeah, so potentially that could be an option then. Gauntlet trial, escape trial, hourglass. What do you think about Apocalypse, Shaman? I didn't actually ever play Apocalypse, so I'm not too familiar with the node. I think from what I heard, it was pretty good. I believe Waggle, I want to say Waggle played it last league, and his setup looked pretty solid with it, but I never actually played with it. Exact wording is increases or reduction in companion damage also apply to you. I know the Spirit Walker notable gain attack damage based on 60% of main hand weapons while being plus for noble says increases. It sounds global to me. The hell are you talking about? The spiritual aid node is not going to apply the gain damage from the base weapon to yourself. It's only applying to increases and reductions to companion damage. All that's doing is taking nodes that say companion damage, and instead of saying companion damage, it's saying increased damage. That's all that node means. Get a random boon, why not? If you see the word gain, it doesn't work. Yep. Exactly.
magnificence.
Chaos Orb, we're rich! We're absolutely rich! Lance, what are your thoughts on Necromantic Talisman? Bad. I think it's just bad. I don't see a world where you're playing a build with Necromantic Talisman ever be the play, because gem level modifier exists, and the gem level modifier given to the minion or companion or whatever doesn't matter. It matters that you're wearing that, you know. Hi, Melon. How you doing? Now, maybe there's some more weird niche thing where, like, I don't know, maybe the specific companion you're doing needs, like, +1 limit, and somehow that makes it powerful. Like, maybe there'd be some weird case like that where you can get something special to occur, but I can't really think of that. And outside of that, it's just that gem level's too powerful.
The foe ahead is formidable. Steel
I'll turn you to dust.
stand clear.
I was shocked that minions dodged the gem level nerf. Yeah, minions and spells alike.
My ancestors' strength courses through my veins.
Maybe I shouldn't play Spark. This is too strong. You're playing Spark right now,
Who goes to my webs are renowned.
or you're looking at this and realizing it's ridiculous. Look at that life strength.
Blessings.
Spark League Start is so bad, it's better than early mapping, though. It's better when you get to early mapping. It just has like good scaling, right? Because late game, if you start getting the damage to work, it hits everything, can hit multiple times. You start benefiting from all your duration and prod speed and stuff. But yeah, in campaign, LE spells are not a pretty time. And the 100 Spear Gem, Archmage, the thing that gives you damage. Is that what you're referring to? There's no way they don't change the Archmage interaction. Have they posted any like nerf notes? They didn't post them last night. I don't think I've seen any get posted today. They're running out of time to do that patch note if they want to do it. I think it's just gonna go as is, and totems are gonna be strong. I think Palstrone's getting away with it. I hope they don't gut Twisters. I think Twisters is just gonna be as is. I think it's gonna stay. I think they're gonna let it live because combo, and it wasn't really that talked about in the leagues before this launch. And then it'll get nerfed next league when it's really popular this league. Where the heck am I going? Is this the right way? Jung's theory crafting totems, so they're effed? Nah, man, they're gonna be just fine. They're gonna be just fine. They're gonna be A-okay. Connor Snitch video is gold, yeah. The question is, will Connor get any of his wish list items? Man, it's crazy how much we struggled on the on that one boss. Got a little bit better spear, and all of a sudden, damage. I think it's that boss is like weird targeting too, though. You cling to buffs only out of ignorance. Nerf Milk, yep. He's gonna go 0 for 4. I'm praying for the timeline. Okay, I think the stuff he mentioned probably should get nerfed, but at the same time, I'm praying for the timeline where he goes 0 for 4, and then they nerf Chalk just because of what the response from him will be. I'm praying for that timeline. The no the no nerfs to all those broken things, and then the nerf to whatever the hell he's planning for Chalk. That's the best timeline. If that somehow happens, I might start to believe he's targeted. I might start to put on his tinfoil hat theory. I don't think he is targeted though, and I think most of the times when they nerf something that he was planning to use, it's something that he was planning to use because everybody and their mom knew it was OP, you know. What? Nah. What are your thoughts on totems banner based? 0 cost Archmage going to be very good with the new changes. I think they're going to be very, very good. Chonk sleeper OP, Nito. Oh, not you too, Nito. Not you too. I'll say it. The Nito propaganda, or the not the Nito. The Chonk propaganda has it had the too many people are supporters or proponents of the Chonk propaganda. Was that body? I'll go back for a body. I'll take life. I'm interested. Look at that clean upgrade. Clean upgrade. I just want Chonk to have an alternative node so the minion Chonk has something for the 4th Ascendancy. You're believing in the minion Chonk? Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. The minion Chonk.
You again. The fool under the hooded one's way. Do you even know what he is?
Let's see if we actually get the skill use correct on this.
Far more capable than Count Geonor.
Glory generation dropped off.
How you were promised. Put an end to this nuisance.
The sick bow before your king.
We're running out of time. End this.
First phase down. Scammed? Can anyone say scammed? What the hell is this? Now burst was kind of sauce. This whole class is sauce, man. As a spellcaster, this boss is pain. Yeah, as a spellcaster, you don't have a gem level item, you are cooked. This boss takes forever. Do we have 60? Oh, I just haven't used it. But yeah, we could put on an Herald of Ice or something. But that's because I just have an item that... Can you not stand in the tornado? That was actually a little bit more suspect than the last time I did this fight. 205. Chonk gets 10 auto resurrections from Chayula per fight. What does that mean? What are you guys talking about now? You guys talking about buffs for Chayula? I reckon Connor quits day 0 if he actually gets targeted by G before launch. He's not gonna get targeted. They're not gonna nerf Chonk, but it would be hilarious if they did. And even if they did, he would just spite log into Ritualist, which is the correct choice. So it doesn't even like hurt him. The more hours I have in this game, the worse I get at dodging this boss. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been good at dodging this boss. So let's say Spearwalker project fails, or for some exiles it's not their cup of tea. can they fall back for an end game and progress to Amazon Twister? You can respec to any Huntress class if you want to. If you don't like the Tame Beast, you can they made it so you could respec Ascendancies, where previously that was not a thing. But that is a thing right now where you can just respec Ascendancies straight up. Do I go through Act 3? Do I do Venom Crypts? I mean, the way Ziggy was describing the campaign changes, it sounds like it's a lot more directional and telling you where things are and what direction to go. Surely I don't need to go practice Venom Crypts because the Venom Crypt snakes will be like very clearly going a direction. If you don't want to do Spearwalker, Farmer's making a bill for you. Let's check up on Farmer. How's his setup doing? How's Farmer's setup doing? Offline. How did he end? Did he end with victory?
What 2K Shattering Palm?
The hell's going on here? Is he testing? He's testing uniques now. If there's a chunk alternative Ascendancy, I feel it won't be Chayula base, but Olesh instead, since I believe we were fighting them. Yeah, because the Zesh is the dude that's already there, and we didn't get it from them. So yeah, I kind of think it'll be, instead of Acolyte of Chayula, it'll be all Acolyte of Esh or Acolyte of Ol as the change. The weird part is with the extra passive points that they showed on the JSON file, it's just one node that was going out of something that was already there. So I'm wondering if it does alternate the other nodes too. Because it only had enough to tell you that there was a additional node behind it doesn't mean that it didn't change the other nodes. Because we clearly couldn't, like the JSON file clearly didn't tell what the other nodes behind were. I thought you get it from Zesh, which you encountered in that child. Well, we've had Zesh in the game. Like, Toll and Esh are the new encounter. They didn't have it for Chonk previously. I don't know. That's the way it makes sense to me. All right. Let's do this thing. And by let's do this thing, let's call it for the night. I was like, you know what? I was thinking maybe I'll run all the way to Act 2 or Act 3, the second lab or whatever, but nah. I think we'll call it for the night. I'm really, really hungry. We start off stream pretty early today. Tomorrow will probably be another earlier day as our final preparation day for League Start. We got one more day of Stalin. Let's send you guys over to who is streaming, who's online. I'm going to send you guys over to Oscrix. I don't know if I've rated him, but Oscrix apparently is going pure zombies, which I didn't even know that was I don't know if I even knew zombies was a skill in this game, to be honest. Anyways, I'm going to send you guys over to Oscrix. He's a pretty wise and sage build maker. Give him some love and say hello. Hit him with a YJ. And I will catch you guys all tomorrow. Final day of preparation tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your evenings, guys.
Fucking Christmas tree. Running as good as an Orabot. Yeah, I've been thinking about booting up the PS5. I'm going to go down to Best Buy. I'm going to buy a PS5. I'm going to buy 2 dual